better than women.
It's true.
No,
it's a fact.
All right, hold on, wait.
Yeah.
You gotta
All right, no, we ain't getting into this conversation, bro.
He said men are better than women in the competitive games.
Yeah,
that was
in high level tournaments. Yes, it's proven. It's
my lord.
That was the full sentence.
Fine. Women's
we can
statistically have higher IQ than men.
Okay, that's a little different.
Why are we putting random facts into this?
Yo, is this conversation?
Yeah, you know, I think
I like this combo though. Let's keep going.
I think Black Adam likes digging holes
for
himself.
I'll be completely honest. Like competitive games, just women are just not as good as men. It's just we're tryhards, bro.
We are tryhards.
We're sweaty.
Yeah.
We're sweaty. It's the truth. It's the absolute truth.
This fucking guy, bro.
It's the absolute truth. That's why an
all
all-female team lost, and they got
Shazam.
beat around a lot, and that's it.
I'm gonna give you an example, okay? Heidi is in the enemy alliance of me right now in my season, right? And she has an R4 in her alliance, putting out mails like, "Oh, we don't expect you to play 24/7. IL does." So if you have an R4 in an alliance which doesn't expect you to play the game really or properly or be competitive, man, what the fuck am I doing in that alliance?
Exactly. That is true.
Are you versus Savage? Are you IL versus Savage?
Yeah, I am in IL and she's in Savage.
Bro, that server is cracked as fuck.
Bro, we fucking smashed them. They got 2 towers this whole season and we fucked them all.
Hold on, wait.
They completely disbanded. The half of the alliance, mostly fighters, just moved.
Wait, what happened to Daka? Was he non-existent that season?
No, Daka doesn't play the game. Okay, Daka doesn't play the game.
He quit?
No, he doesn't quit, but he comes online, plays for 20 minutes, throws his troops out, and
he's a farm killer, huh?
I've never
he was the
seen
first
him
player to hit the 1 billion kills.
Yes, because he fought T4s. And guess what? The whole server is 200 T5s. So if you come out of your castle, you have 50 T5s just waiting on you. So
no. I like IL, not gonna lie.
Bro,
I really like IL.
Huge Zerg. Crazy.
Yo, Bob,
you guys better keep recruiting. You're gonna be a superpower very, very soon if you're not one already.
The leaders are very nice, and we got some plans for sure. Like, very nice event. I'm very happy.
I mean, to be fair, you were one of the alliances I had eyes on for me and my group if global migration was coming out.
Yeah, come.
So definitely keep it up.
We can work together, man. The T5s here, they play all day. All day.
Yeah, definitely keep it up, bro.
Yeah, Heidi's laughing because she knows. She saw my name all day. Every day.
I know I'm laughing because this season has been a complete farce. Like, yes, IL have been superior in every way in terms of activity, build plans. However, SVG have...
Wonder why.
No, but...
Hold on.
Dear Lord. This guy.
SVG have imploded within, and it's actually a very
interesting... Tell us why. I thought Savage Alpha had a lockdown on the alliance.
No, the thing is, it's actually a very interesting topic because...
Tell us.
When you have alliances merging... But you have the original alliance controlling the whole of the leadership and not giving other people voices, things tend to fall apart, unfortunately. And that's what's happened with SVG.
That's a fair point, yeah, that's fair.
No, I'm saying it as my personal experience. I've been with SVG for almost 2 seasons now. And on the exterior, it looks like a fabulous, very strong, powerful alliance. I believe bossnasti listed them, was it on his top 25 kind of top alliances power-wise. But it's gone to shit because they didn't listen to anyone. So none of us want to be
power without leadership, pretty much.
No, I mean, Meow, there is...
I know a server like that. It's called 42.
Yeah, there's a lot of leadership, but they don't listen. So can you guys imagine having 2 alliances, okay, SVG main and SVGA sub, and having one war leader out of 400 players?
Oh, that's a lot.
That's terrible.
literally TFS.
That's what.
That is not TFS, bro.
Even if it's TFS, that guy plays all day, right? If he's the war leader, you need to be on Discord, you need to be on the field, you need to be planning, you need to play the game, right? But SVG doesn't play the game. They play for 2 hours, 3 hours, log offline. Check their stats.
No, Rambo. I'm sorry, you're seeing that as someone from the other side, but from our side, if we have nobody putting markers down, nobody directing, of course people aren't going to come online.
You have a lack of leadership, pretty much.
Yes,
then, right. Is that what I'm?
That's what it sounds like.
It's not
even a lack of people wanting to lead. It's that the original, unfortunately,
no, you don't want the people that
SVG leadership
don't want to lead, bro.
No, but they're not willing to relinquish control, even though they're not there.
I don't understand why people are having a hard time to relinquish control. I never understood that. Like, I'm trying.
It's golden chair, bro. It's their ego. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with people, but some people just sit on their golden chair, log in, and be greeted as the ultimate mighty R5, being fucking useless. You know?
No, it's definitely.
I mean, you know, please tell us more. I don't think that was aggressive enough.
I like that passion, bro.
That is true.
I mean, to be fair, when you're spending time in the game and you're spending money, you have expectations.
He leads a 10 billion alliance. A 10 billion alliance is very strong, being in top 10 list of the end, right? So you are very competitive, and you have a 9 billion alliance as a friend. You know, you have 7 alliance in total against 3 in the KVK, right? So you have the people, you have the power, you have everything in your hands, and what do you do?
Throw it all away, huh?
You throw it all away.
Yeah, no, but okay, but the thing is, SVG, I joined SVG last season and I brought across 150 players. Imagine bringing 150 people across 2.5 alliances and not being given even an R4 role. The problem with SVG,
to be honest, Heidi, here that is a lack of negotiation on your side.
Yeah,
you're bringing that much.
That was
players. You have to consider taking any sort of leadership and representation, at least for your group, and at least represent your voices heard.
Meow, we were promised that, but when push came to shove,
then you leave.
You leave.
You leave. Yeah, that's
immediately leave.
I was like, you got head.
Yeah, which is why we're leaving now, because last season we had we had no PvP, nothing. Who's laughing at me? Is it you, Rambo?
No.
Why should I laugh at you? I'm laughing at my stream right now. Like,
that's cat, but okay.
It wasn't at you. Sorry.
I can give you guys and girls a little bit advice if you want.
He's not even streaming.
Oh wait, it stopped? Oh shit.
So basically you want to have 2 types of leaders. You have to have aggressive leaders that are campaigning, hitting targets and having fellowship. So those are the aggressive players that lead the campaigns. So then you have a management leaders that you have to have those more management than aggressive leaders. Yes. Aggressive leaders are people that know how to play aggressively. They do result, and then people follow those. That's the common sense in all mobile games. And management usually in my alliances, the biggest alliance I've led is 500 people, so and so. And in management positions, when you handle lots of Excels and data, the best people I have ever had on those positions are female. That's just how it is. Really intelligent people, and people respect that because handling lots of data is really painful and time consuming. And when you have aggressive players that have ego, you use those people in situations where they are best at, and that's aggressive wars. So best people to best positions. Bro. Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's a male or a female. It all boils down to the player themselves, to be honest.
Yeah. But this is like 30 years of playing.
And in his experience in those 30 years of playing, he realizes that females tend to be a better role.
Shut up,
This is not like I'm not like stepping on any gender. I'm just saying that in my experience, females are really good at handling management level.
I agree. I agree.
And of course, there is people that do it depending. It doesn't mean that if you have a male or female, it doesn't matter. But when you have a game, this is a game, and you have war and you have aggressive war. It's just that we have testosterone and we want to perform and we have ego. so naturally, most of us males want to do war all the time and perform as well as we can. And the better you perform, the more people look at you and want to play with you. But then when you play a lot, year by year, people tend to follow the management. So it's good to have a healthy officer corps in an alliance. That's the most important. And if you disregard that, your alliance will fall apart. And that's
what's happening
fact.
to SVGs this season.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. What on earth has testosterone got to do with it? Like
you're
using your fingers.
You know, there's two types of men. There is two types of men: low testosterone and high testosterone. You know, if you have low testosterone, you're a soy boy. You know, blah blah blah. And if you're a high testosterone, you want war. You want to fuck people, you want to rally people. You want to win the war. You want to play all day to just demolish people. You throw away all your money, all your time, all your effort just to fucking win.
Yeah. You're focused only on one thing.
Yes.
And that's aggressive war all the time.
Women, you're pigeonholing women. This is why there are so few female gamers on these kind of games, because you pigeonhole us to one role.
No. It's not about that. I'm not talking about that.
So Heidi, I have one question. Do you want a female war lead?
I'm telling you now, with quite confidence, I could war lead better than half of you here in this call.
Yeah, but you do it.
I mean, let's be real. Definitely better than Black Adam. We know that. No. Hang on. No. But being serious, hang on. Let me chime in for a sec. So I think, first and foremost, Heidi, I think you're absolutely right. And I can, and Adam, just so I can attempt to educate just slightly, but of course in a very nice way, is do you know who Scarlet is? Black Adam.
No.
Okay. Again, if you're not in the esports scene or you're not in like the professional gaming scene, you may not be aware, especially if you don't look at a lot of diversity of games. So,
isn't that the StarCraft?
It is, right? So Scarlet is a professional StarCraft player who originated, I believe. I can't remember if it was in the U.S. or another country, but essentially she was able to move.
European.
Okay, yeah, she might be EU. Thank you. And so she's a widely very successful StarCraft professional player, right? The strongest league essentially is I think it's the GSL and the ESL down in Seoul, right in South Korea. That's basically where like the top StarCraft players go to play. Like if you want to make it to the top.
Oh, there we go. That's another.
And so
thing.
but
just built different.
Well, hang on. But she's not Korean, right? That's the point. The point is she's not Korean, right? Again, I'm just using a reference as an example to. Again, not to necessarily counter what you were saying, but just to give some context, is that, and that's just one example, right, of someone who basically who's a female player, who was able to take her skills and translate them to the strongest league possible, and has actually seen success. She's won at the highest level. So it just goes to show that, again, there are, and even for those of you that have played games like Halo and Gears of War on the console, right, there were multiple all-female teams that had placed pretty well in like MLG events back in the day, for those of you that might be familiar with MLG. There's also some all-female teams that play Counter-Strike Go, some that play in the fighting game community and have competed at EVO tournaments, right? So I think the important thing here to understand is that it's good to not always apply a perspective where you deal in absolutes, right? When you come out and you say something that's like really hard capped and it's like, oh yeah, well, you know, females can't do this or that, right? It's like, again, unless you've done the research and you've taken time to educate yourself, it's always better to humble yourself and just say, hey, maybe I'm just not familiar or I'm not aware, right, of others, instead of saying, oh, well, like, this just cannot happen, if that makes sense. Transitioning on the topic of, like, leads, I can give you a great example there. Right, so I, one of my homegirls, Azza, who I played with in Rock, that I met her in 1196, which was a top 4 Imperium Kingdom for a number of years. She was basically like the right-hand man for that kingdom, or right-hand woman, I guess you could say. I'll just say the right hand in general, to keep it neutral. And she taught me a lot about that game. She was someone that I learned from, as much as learning from a lot of other people. Right, it doesn't really matter where knowledge and experience comes from. It's free, right? Take the advantage and soak it up as much as you can. And so being able to work alongside her, I was able to learn a lot about how that kingdom operated in and out. And sometimes it's not just about doing the task. Oftentimes it can be learning about the people, right? Learning what makes them tick, what their psychology is, how do they respond in certain situations, how do they act. Those things are really important. And I would tend to agree generally that I think it's kind of like that idea of, like when you're raising a kid and they say, well, okay, right, are you missing a parent or not, right? And do you have like a female touch, right? So that way, because it's kind of associated with, not necessarily being emotional, but just having kind of that soft TLC, right? To quote one of my favorite all-girl bands of all time, right? Kind of sprinkle, if you will, on there. And, so I think that as well is something. Now, when it comes to females being able to lead alliances, I've had females that have led alliances in a number of my projects. I've had a decent amount of them who have performed what I would consider to be incredibly well. People that I would effortlessly bring back with me to, if they were ever playing CoD, as an example, ones that I met in Infinity Kingdom. I'll give you a really good example, right? Someone who still plays CoD right now. Her name's Rizzo. You guys might have seen her. Some people might be familiar with Rizzo or not, but she played on Kingdom 2 with me. I brought her over from Infinity Kingdom. She's someone who I think is an excellent lead candidate. I would pick her over probably a number of people every day of the week. But again, that's not to necessarily genderize, right, and say like, oh, you're on this side of the fence or that if you're male or female. It's just, what do you bring to the table? I don't really care what your gender is, right? Are you good at what you do? Are you efficient? Are you proficient at the job? And I think that's something that really kind of transcends gender. It's just not even, it's kind of a moot point at that time. So anyways, that's just the second thing I wanted to add in to
that's true.
To Heidi's point. So,
but in my experience, I always think in long term. Like, I don't think about one server or stuff like that. I think about a community. 1 year, 2 years, 10 years. If you do a job in a community, in a server as a leader, you have to do something that you like or can manage well. Because if you do something that you don't like to do, you burn out. So that's the idea behind my mind when I talked last time. Sorry if I offended anyone, but that's not my intention. I was just pointing out that in experience, people should do what they like to do and what they have time to do. Not force anyone to do a job that they could possibly to do better than the guy who is doing it, but to actually do the job for years to come. That was my one of my points in the last discussion we had.
Doesn't matter who they are or what they are, as long as they're a good player. That's all that matters at the beginning and the end of the day.
But as a community, you have to think about leadership, that they have energy in the long term. But if you burn out, it's game over, and then people suffer more than just you. So it's a good thing to recognize as a player and as a leader that people should do what they like to do, or else they most likely burn out. And in games, in many games I've been playing, the most common thing for a player to quit is a burnout in the game.
That's when you hotbox the room.
Yeah, season 1, I definitely quit being a leader for like a week. I came back and then this little kid started a war with one of our allies and I had to come back and fix everything. It pissed me off.
Jeez, I just come into here. I see y'all are in here. Who's burned out?
What's up, Asgardian?
Was only general talking.
My
I
face.
think they're just
Shazam is
passing
gone
a
out.
blunt around.
Oh, yeah. My face.
I think they're just
out.
burning up. This is what it was.
Yeah.
Shazam is the
It's
kind
turned
of
into
guy
like
you know start
a
shit
little
with
podcast
everybody.
style.
Shazam's
Like, Garbo.
generating quality topics for the group.
Yeah, he's
There you
always
go,
starting
there you
shit
go.
with everybody.
There you
Always.
go, yup. Damn fucking right.
Yeah, see, everyone has a
It's like
has a
this
use.
meme.
He
This
hates
meme,
the free-to-play players.
I don't want peace. I want what is it? Meme?
I want
What is
problems.
this?
I want
I
problems.
want problems always.
I thought y'all were in here for the Feet Anonymous group.
What?
Wait, what?
You just say it's like an AA meeting, but it's for feet? Is that what he said?
Yeah, I thought that this was the meeting.
Oh, solid. Wait, hang on real quick. Heidi, I want to, if I can, I want to circle back to what you were saying about the... you said something about you migrated in some players to a kingdom, and essentially the lead there, because again, I that is a fascinating subject for me that you brought up. So basically, you said you migrated in what 125 people into the kingdom.
Yeah. So obviously, last season we didn't have to migrate, but then as of this season, we did have to migrate to stick with them.
Okay.
But last season we negotiated a merge with them.
Okay. And essentially the challenge that you were describing, or the hurdle that you were either noticing or you're facing, is that the lead doesn't really want to give up leadership, essentially, or R5 control at the moment, and they're not necessarily, they're kind of in their own thoughts, so to speak, or tunnel visioning, where they're not really listening to anyone kind of in the alliance giving feedback. Is that about accurate, or is it more than that?
I think it's much more than that, and I have actually been toying with the idea of approaching you on this subject because it's a very interesting subject to which I have many receipts. And
Here we go. Let's go.
I want to hear drama.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm dying to talk about this.
No, go ahead. And if you want, you can generalize. You don't necessarily need to, if you don't feel comfortable naming names, that's fine. It's okay.
No, but the thing is,
name names.
On paper, SVG versus IL, where we are, Rambo, what's our server call? Like our merge kingdom?
95,
no, but what's our kingdom called?
Kingdom
if people want
12.
On paper, we should have been an equalish matchup. We should have been a good fight for IL. However,
I think you had more power than IL from what I saw.
They had more members, more T5s, more power. Like they had 7 alliances versus 3. That's the matchup.
No, my darling. Darling. It's not 7 versus 3. Let's be realistic. It was roughly an equal kind of matchup. Perhaps on paper, SVG had slightly more power, but we essentially handed IL this victory, and I don't want to miscredit IL because they worked hard day and night. They had excellent war leaders, excellent planning, but to be honest with you, the main reason SVG imploded is because the original leaders of SVG, they were very, very, very suspicious of spies. Spies is an interesting topic on this game. Spies are going to be everywhere. You can't control it. It's inevitable, but it shouldn't stop you from running a somewhat successful alliance. It doesn't matter if you have a spy and they're saying, look, they're going to push at X time. It doesn't matter because as soon as you start gathering, the other alliance can see that you're gathering. However, because of the kind of misconceptions that SVG had, they allowed some of us external people to have leadership roles, as they stated, but really we were not leadership. So they had groups within groups. So although we were perhaps in the R4 groups, we weren't actually in the R4 groups that were relevant. So we didn't actually see the inner workings. And unfortunately, because SVG started to lose, they then started to blame the people that had merged with them, including myself and the team that I had brought into them. And they've actually blamed this entire season upon myself. And said that I've been working with IL directly, although there's been no proof. And unfortunately, as a result, they've imploded within themselves, and that's why we've kind of separated ourselves, even though the season has not reached its end. So it kind of brings an interesting topic up where, alliances are merging, but they're not willing to give the people that are merging with them real respect, real voices, real actual roles within leadership. And that's what's happened here.
Okay.
That sounds like mismanagement from Savage more than anything, to be honest. Sounds like a Savage problem itself.
Yeah, that sounds like a him problem.
Sure.
That sounds like a him
That's
problem.
what I told her as well. That's what drove me off from ever joining you guys. It's the same happened to server 93 in Division 14 in ETS server. They had a civil war. They fucked up the whole matchmaking, by fighting each other. So we had ETS versus DYB. They had 93 as allies. 93 imploded because one alliance accused the other one to not being involved in any management or any R4 duties. So they fought each other, which made DYB forfeit. The season is over. It's very bad.
Spy game is an old tactic. It's the second job.
I always assume alliance chat and Discord is always public information. I always assume that.
Bro, to be fair though, in this game, spies are not as impactful as you think they are.
Yeah, that's another thing I was going to say. Spies are not impactful. Because if your alliance
very
is super
true.
active and you got 100 people always active,
what's
and
the
the enemy's
spy gonna
50,
do?
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck is the spy
What's he gonna do?
I mean, and the only time it's relatively relevant, if anything, is just at the beginning of the season, dictating where you're gonna drop. That's the only time where spying is, gonna be game changing in any shape or form. But knowing when pushes are gonna happen, you can just open the map that is completely revealed. You see them gathering. Oh, they're gathering right now. You see the time? It seems to be their active time.
Exactly.
That's it.
It's common sense. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I don't think.
That depends though.
Can
That
you
depends
guys
though,
see-
because sometimes
can you
people
imagine
can do like a different planned push during people's off time. So it could still
But
be.
I'm not a
effective.
certified counselor, but it does sound like you guys just need to play with 87. We're chill.
Oh my
Don't do this
Nobody wants to play with 87, bro. Nobody
propaganda starts.
Who is 87?
Asgardian.
Okay, I have a genuine question for you guys. Can you
Some
guys
kid
imagine
from
being in
Romania?
R4 and not having access to the map planning?
No.
Then to be fair, Heidi, to be fair, that sounds
I'll
like
chime
a
in after
problem
Meower.
of negotiating. You joined them more than anything.
You need to put your foot down.
Yeah, you need
Exactly.
to tell Alpha I'm the fucking Alpha. That's what you
I
had to
mean,
do.
Let's be real. Maybe not that, but good.
No, but then that brings up a separate issue with something that's perhaps not kosher to talk about here, but piloting and R5s not actually being present in the game. So when you have a leader who's not actually there, then of course you're going to have anarchy within the alliance.
So
Then you
who
reform.
Who took charge of I don't know, war?
Sounds like you joined the wrong community. For
Yeah,
just
you should have joined
That's
us. Dang, we had no R5. And
Shameless.
man,
She just said, keep it going.
Hey, come on.
Stop bashing her. Just tell her like that's it.
Bro is a
Get it,
professional poacher.
Yeah. So Heidi, if I can chime in again. So what's your alliance again?
SVG.
Okay, so you're SVG,
SVG.
and you merged with who again?
No, sorry, I was originally from server 21,
Yeah.
so a beta server. It was called UWU, UWU.
Okay.
We won 2 of the 3 seasons.
So you will merge with SVG, so like just a short version. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm taking notes because I want to make sure I don't miss anything. So okay, and you said it was about 120 active players that went in. Who was the lead of SVG at the time when you were
Alpha.
Is that Savage
who
Alpha?
I believe you have. Yes, he's
Okay.
got 2 accounts. One on 95, one on, is it 42?
Okay.
I believe you've made you may have referenced him in your like top certain number of people with power.
It sounds familiar. Okay.
in a couple
he's
of
in GD.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had... Okay, so Uwu... Okay, so who reached out to who first? Did you reach out to him, or did he reach out to you?
So he does not get involved in diplomacy. So it was his R4s that get involved in the diplomacy.
Okay. And was it one R4 or was it multiple people?
Multiple.
Okay. Okay. More than 3? Or 3 or more?
Initially, initially it was like 2 or 3.
Okay.
But then when we actually had the conversations, it was more than 3.
Okay. And then from your side, was it just you or was it more than you?
I brought myself and 3 other people into the conversations once the conversations had started.
Okay. And then last question on that one. Did one person have the final say on the Diplo side from both alliances, or did multiple?
I would say I had the final say from my side.
Okay.
And from their side, it looked like their diplomacy lead had the final say.
Okay. 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 Which again, bear in mind, that is good, right? Because you don't... Sometimes having too many cooks in the kitchen when it comes to final decisions for something like that, or even on other areas of interest, can just sometimes muddy or elongate how long something can go on for. So that's good, at least in the end, that it happened that way. So, so after you started talking, did you already have it in your mind that you wanted to merge into them, or was there an opportunity for them to merge into you?
No, that was absolutely not an option. We had a much smaller number of high power players.
Okay.
We had a lot of original leadership quit. Having been through 3 seasons and having won 2 out of 3 seasons, we'd accrued a lot of leeches and farmers. So although we had 2 full alliances, we weren't necessarily that strong going forward. So it's quite obvious to me that we couldn't stand alone. Okay.
Okay. And out of the 120, 125, would you say those were all like healthy, I guess an accurate, healthy number of active players in that? Or would you say it was maybe less than that?
No, most definitely, because that's out of 400 people. So yes.
Okay. And how much capacity at the time did SVG have, or what did they give you a number and say like, hey, this is our true capacity that we have for people we could take in?
No, they were quite open to whoever we wanted to bring across, and in fact, although we gave them lists of people we did want to bring across, they actually ended up adopting people who we did not have on our list as well.
Okay. Essentially players that were outside of Uwu. Or
I mean, they were original Uwu, okay. But the thing is, I wasn't going to necessarily bring them all across because, you know, when you look at power versus kill ratio versus, you know, units healed, etc., they weren't necessarily fighters.
Okay. Okay. And then what was the plan? What was the plan? Because again, you're not going to be able to obviously fit that many people into one alliance. So, what was the plan to use to have the overflow players go into a second alliance, or was there something else there?
Do you think we could have this conversation at another time, like just the 2 of us? Because like we have people like spectating and observing. I have receipts and everything else you need, but I'd like to discuss this with you at length, perhaps another time, if that's possible.
Oh no, I don't mind. I mean, yeah. I mean, I imagine this is potentially educational for other people listening. I mean, it's fascinating for me, and I don't need to ask too many specific questions. Yeah, but no, if you're more comfortable with that, it's no problem.
Any and every question you have, but I'm just conscious that we have a group of people spectating.
Oh, that's okay. They love it. They're basking in it.
Yeah, let's go, ID. Spill the beans.
No, my problem is, the thing is, we've not reached our season end at the moment, and it's quite turbulent in terms of...
You are out of zone.
I'm sorry, but we climaxed at our season.
Rambo, be quiet.
It's
over. there may well be... No.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, be quiet. Lady is talking. There may well be a civil war any day now. So I have to be careful what I say.
Okay. Well, so I think you've given me enough right now. So let me generalize if I can, based on like how I would approach a diplomatic situation like that. So based on, and I'll oversimplify for the group. So essentially, if you are a smaller alliance and you're trying to merge into essentially a bigger alliance, or you're the ones that are going in and not the opposite, usually the way it would start is you would need to try and find out like what the true open cap is, right? So what are the true available number of spots that they have available, because they should be doing their own consistent assessments. If they're not doing that, that's probably a red flag, and I would probably stay away from that alliance. Number two, and that's just because, again, if they're not operating at a high standard level of, or just a base standard level really, of organizational structure, to me, that's a red flag, because that can trickle into other areas. Then you kind of have to wonder, like, what's happening in the alliance overall, even just outside of that one area. Like, if you're not even on top of, keeping consistent data numbers and stats, I mean, that respectfully, that's a red flag. And then secondly, right, you would want to obviously have your own numbers, which it seems like you brought, right? So you came to the table pretty prepared on the back end, which, again, that sounds really great. Honestly, you're the type of person I would probably want as an R4, potentially an R5. But again, I think that's a good trait in quality. The next thing, right, when we get to kind of step 3 is now you kind of have to know, one, how are you going in, right? So what are you asking for and what are you looking for? Because, again, based on what you said, you were not involved, or you were maybe excluded, right, from specific management level chats that carried more weight maybe than others. And again, that can kind of be twofold, because usually you want to be able to be upfront and say, okay, well, if we're coming in and we're bringing 100 or 75 hyperactive people to the table, right, you would imagine that it's either, again, usually at best case, you're potentially co-leading and you're going to rotate, right? But then that kind of has to be, well, are you up for that? So you kind of have to know what your availability is. Is that something you're up for? And even before that, usually you want to be able to sit down and have a one-on-one conversation with the lead or the important people, that are there, because it really has to be more about establishing a relationship where you understand what their expectations are versus your expectations, versus what are your standards, what are their standards, what are they looking for in the short term and the long term. Think of it like you're speed dating, right? That's kind of how you have to approach it. Like, do you want to actually move in with this person or not? And that might seem like a lot, but you have to think about it for someone like yourself. You're catering. Excuse me, not catering. You're looking after the players that you're bringing, right? So you essentially have a responsibility and a level of accountability to the group that you are essentially directing on where we're going to go, right? Just as much as the person that, or the alliance that you're looking to join, right? They should be looking to make sure it's a good fit. Now, I don't know if those conversations happened or not, but if those didn't happen, bam, that's a second red flag. I'm just going to run out of Dodge. I'm probably, again, unless leadership changes or something drastic, I'm probably not going to go back and talk with those people again, because to me, that's just like, you don't really have your shiitake mushrooms together. Spy Kids reference for anyone there that enjoys kids movies. I do. As most people know, I have 3 girls. So then we get to step 5. Thank you. Yeah, which at this point, right now, let's say that you've been able to make it past these hurdles of, what they're you have a good idea on feeling them out. They felt you out. Platonically, of course, we're keeping it PG for the group. And then at that point, what your numbers are. What their numbers are. And then now you would be asking, right? So we're kind of coming full circle back to now you would say, okay, well, are we going to do some kind of an R5 rotate? Are you going to come in as an R4? How many R4 spots do you have available, right? What are the positions and current roles and tasks that their current R4 team is handling, right? So then you can kind of figure out how do you fit in. Or is it more specific task oriented? Is it kind of an all around where everyone's doing everything, even if you have kind of a priority order that you're working top down in, right? Essentially just trying to figure out how is their management system ran from top down, so you can figure out, right, how can you best slot yourself in along with the people that you want to bring over, right? Maybe they didn't have enough spots to rotate, or maybe they're going to do it like some alliances do it, where they'll have like a day and a night team, right? They'll operate on 12-hour shifts. I've seen alliances that have more than 8, that have 16 people, where they'll operate 12 hours these 8, 12 hours these next 8, or they'll just like swap in and out kind of more fluidly, right? So kind of like who comes on, who doesn't come on, right? Those things are really important to be able to assess. And again, bear in mind, I'm really just giving you guys like the simplified version here. I could like really TED Talk this bee's knees up, but for sake of time. Then we get to step 6, right? So now you've figured all that out. You know kind of how your officers and how the management thing's going. And then it's a matter of, okay, well, now you're sitting down and having those conversations on what does that process look like on bringing people over, right? So you can make sure that everyone's going to get into where they go. And then obviously the overflow, if you do have that, is going to end up going to a second or a third alliance. Kind of you want to get all your ducks in a row. But I would say at that point, right, and then it's pretty easy. Then essentially after that, you're just executing, right, overall. So appreciate you, Guns. And so at that point, then I think you're kind of set. But I think it's really important to be able to kind of do those things in order relatively, so you can try and figure that out. And if there's any red flags that kind of come up along the way, however, I will say overall, if that conversation didn't happen where you asked for like what you wanted or what you expected or what you would like, and they never offered anything, because typically once you start coming over, usually at that, like once you guys are like, hey, we've shaken hands, we've agreed, now we're starting to transition players over. Now the ball is in their court, because they're the ones that should be giving you access to relevant channels. They should be bringing you into a management Discord channel, if it's a council Discord channel, if it's an R4 Discord channel, right? If there's in-game group chats that they need to invite you into, they should be giving you a TLDR and basically like a debrief, right? If we're getting all CIA with the fam here, right? They should give you kind of a debrief and let you know, like, hey, this is where we're currently at. This is what's happened maybe over the past 1, 2, 3 months. Like, to me, these are standard practices, right? So, like, this is my expectation when I go in to conversations. And bear in mind, even if you may not, for anyone in the call, even if you may not approach it this way, it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? There's always good learning opportunities regardless of, where you're currently at. People can always improve, and you can always do better than what you did before. But these are things that you would obviously want to already kind of have set up, or they should be telling you at that point. And then obviously you get to kind of the next big hurdle, which is, well, what if the lead isn't following through on those things, like you said, right? Doesn't necessarily want to give up lead and those situations. Really, at that point, because I've been in alliances and I've seen alliances that have that type of leadership where it's, hey, we don't want to listen to anyone. It's kind of our way or the highway. We don't really need to hear feedback, because we're the best of the West, etc. And I think anything that kind of falls under that or closely around that guise, that the way that sometimes those individuals or maybe groups of individuals carry themselves, honestly, that's just another red flag. Like, you should just get out of Dodge, right? That's a matter of, like, you find out anyone that's similar to you and your thinking, and especially if it's happening consistently. Like, don't get me wrong, you should reach out and make attempts, right? I think doing due diligence is really important. So you should be able to go and have a conversation with your lead and say, hey, I'd love to talk, right? Can you schedule a few minutes, or can we find a few minutes here or there where we can sit down into a VC and have a conversation? And you can be able to explain those things. Of course, not everyone has soft skills, and that's something I really preach on, right? Because not everyone is good at people communicating or just communicating with another live human being that breathes, right? And so sometimes, it's good to kind of, I don't want to say tiptoe, but sometimes it's good to take a Switzerland approach, where you kind of speak in a neutral tone, you have a neutral demeanor, you have neutral the way that you type or the way that you conversate with someone, right? Because usually you can get a lot farther that way than if, you kind of let your freak flag fly, which I've seen happen a number of times. Black Adam, I'm talking to you, even though I love you on the side. And so, again, these things are, really, really important when you're going in and having these conversations, because you want to try and establish where you're at versus where they're at. But again, if you've done that and you feel like, hey, I've reached out to this person in text, or I've reached out to this person in voice, and you know what, they're not meeting me halfway, then yeah, get out of Dodge. Like, that's really it. You find people that are like-minded and that want to leave, and you just look for opportunities on when you can jump ship. Maybe you go start another alliance, maybe you go join somewhere else, but don't just sit there and keep taking the abuse. And I'm not saying you are, I'm just speaking generally. So anyways, that's my long-winded thing.
All of this. And it's very useful.
No, I know. It's join 87. No, we got it. So.
Yeah. No. You got.
Oh, is that step 2? Sorry. Got it.
You gotta exert dominance. Just pee on them. You know what? They'll fold.
Got it.
They'll listen
like Dave Chappelle in that R. Kelly video.
You got this.
Bro, you can't.
But yeah, come join 87. We got this.
So to kind of embellish upon what you've said.
Yeah, and I said a lot there, so I apologize if it felt a little overwhelming.
I agree with you. So the current situation that we're in is that SVG have accused me, and the people that I brought into their team of working directly with the competitors, so IL. They have no proof. They have done this behind my back.
Yeah.
They ousted me from all leadership
That sounds
roles.
like fun, being an outcast.
They ousted me from all kind of positions. They have zero proof.
Yeah.
They kind of
ease your life, mate.
They produced a quote unquote witch hunt chat that I have somehow procured the screenshots to, blaming me. And because they've done that, there's no way that I could ever join IL in the future now. I'd like to caveat, I have never worked with IL. Never. And there's no proof.
If it's fake, why can't you join IL? I'm sorry, can you
because on
I told her
pure,
like 50 times, join us.
No, on pure principle. Because I'm a woman of the word.
What principle? You're here for a good time, not a long time.
You can't bring principles in this game.
Join my fucking Zerg.
It's sad to say, but you've got to look after your account, dude. It's your account. You need to look after it, man.
No, because
decisions.
Reputation is everything. Reputation is everything.
No, if someone is tarnishing your reputation, you prove them wrong by
tarnishing
give
your
proof or get out.
Man, if you really care what people think about you, I'm sorry, you shouldn't play this game.
Yeah, man.
Hang on a sec. So I think what Heidi's bringing is a little deeper than just that. I'm
just gonna say this. You're here for a good time, not a long time.
Yes.
Oh Lord Almighty.
Yes.
This guy.
Yes.
I mean, the thing is,
Get
this
multiple
is ATL.
clippings from Adam.
I thought we were talking about women leaders, but I mean, you just.
That's my boy ATL.
You said, yeah, what's up, man? You just gotta play your game, man. I mean, eventually you'll meet people that would treat you the way you want to be treated, but don't settle for less. And if people talk shit, I mean, there's plenty of videos of Neff talking about me. I really don't care. I don't even watch them. But that's the thing.
Wow.
It's just love. That's where.
Yeah, but
drop that bars, ATL, bro.
Yeah.
But you have to learn how to separate the game from real life, right? Once it starts digging into real life, then you have a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
that's very true.
You got to find a way to enjoy. Don't let the game game you. You know, the game is here for entertainment. So eventually you'll find your spot. You just got to find the right people.
Heidi, real quick, did you ever reach out to any of the IL people to ask them if, they believe what was said, or even do that from a starting point?
Constantly, but I forgot their name. Who was the guy of IL that was constantly in VC? Let's just get him out here and figure this out once and for all.
I
can go out, no problem.
Okay.
There are a lot of intimate details here, so
yeah. No, and you don't have to go into specifics, of course. I was just curious at face value because what you're essentially saying is Party A said something to Party B, but your Party C. So did Party C reach out to Party B to ask anyone from Party B, in this case IL, of well, hey, what did they say, right? Or again, and whatever it is, and again, I'd like to say that, hey, this isn't true, or even reach out and. I mean, because again, if you're worried about just having that initial form of contact where it's, hey, I'd love to join, right? And you feel like because they've said something over there that could maybe impact that. Because again, sometimes those things can spread, right? Within management teams, it's like someone hears something, they immediately let management know, and then sometimes it can become like a white flag or a blacklist. Like I've seen those things happen pretty quickly, and that's not to say that IL's doing that, but to me, it just feels like the initial action is, hey, just reach out to a couple members, whether it's the lead, a couple R4s, and say, hey, I heard that my lead or a few people from this alliance said something about me. Would you be able to tell me if they even reached out at all or what they said? I just don't know if there's any truth to this. Like, to me, I think that's a pretty simple or easy conversation to ask.
Hold on. There's something I'm missing here. So you're saying you can't join IL because Savage is accusing you of being a spy for IL, and that prevents you of joining.
Yeah, that's
IL,
what I don't get, man. That's what I know. That's what I don't get.
I don't get it as well.
Because if you was a spy for IL, you can just join IL because you was working for him. Like, what the fuck?
Mr. CC, where the hell in England are you from? Are you from Leeds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so Heidi, can you please clear this part up because I'm kind of lost here.
Okay, go
You're
on.
saying you can't join IL because Savage is accusing you of being a spy for IL, but what does that have to do with your position and your decision if they're making stuff up?
Because that would prove their point and kind of justify everything.
Who cares? They lost.
You
Who
won.
cares?
You're gonna win. Who cares? You're here for a good time, not a long time.
No, I'm a strong believer of reputation follows you.
Yeah,
I'm not.
There's no reputation with losers. There's no reputation with someone that lost.
The problem is, if I was one individual, I would do whatever the hell I wanted.
We're talking about a reputation from an alliance failing 11 times the Hydra just before the gate opens and giving us free zone 4.
No, but
why do you care about your reputation from someone that is actively tarnishing it? If someone is actively tarnishing it, their opinion is irrelevant.
And then when you're going to IL, you shouldn't be caring about the reputation of others because technically you're joining an alliance and potentially new friends.
I mean, even Shazam is finding a home, and he's a piece of shit.
Look at Shazam.
Exactly, bro.
Person, but
I'm telling you, bro. I'm just telling you, man. You're just here for a good time, not a long time. That's it.
Heidi,
so
to me, I told you 50 times.
IL, I'm gonna mark it down in my forever book that you betrayed SVG.
No, but I don't quite understand your logic, because if I did that and I brought my group across, then that proves.
Who gives a fuck?
Okay, who cares? Exactly. Who gives a shit?
There's someone accusing you. They won't care what happens. They won't care if you join them or not.
Are you afraid of Diddy talking behind who? Like, who are you afraid of?
I'm not afraid per se, but I think that reputation is very important in this game.
I think you just
I promise you.
I can give you some really clear examples with names of alliances that have the worst fucking reputation in the game, and people still flock to them. No one cares.
No one cares.
TA, for example, the Avengers have the worst fucking reputation in the entire fucking game, and people still want to join them. And you want to convince me that people will care about reputation from someone making stuff up? Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, I think to be clear, Meow, it's not everyone will join, but yes, some will.
Exactly. No one cares. No one cares.
Well, it's not necessarily that no one cares. Remember, it's that some don't care.
You know what I find funnier is like you're sat here saying all this, but I'm not gonna lie, like I literally went through all of this season and fucking showcased it, like in even worse conditions than you're going through, and I've even found a fucking alliance that I'm playing, and we're having a good time. We're friends. We're chilling.
Hey Heidi,
like,
I just wanted to say from Asgardian love to you. I wish you the best of luck. Don't stress on this game. Just play for fun and do what you enjoy.
Can I just say something?
You know?
So
have a good day.
Like I proved you committed a murder. You shouldn't worry about anything.
No, don't do it. I'm gonna put it
just
in my
join IL. Join us.
No, that's not my issue. If I was just one individual looking after my own interest, I would.
I'm best friends with everybody. I'm gonna make you join IL.
This is getting weirdly aggressive.
No, that's a slightly separate issue.
You're in IL, it's
It's
fine.
the German in him. It's the German.
I don't necessarily agree with all of IL's tactics. Like,
what is our tactic? We fucking play the game all day.
Come on,
man.
Oh yeah, here we
You
go.
either want to join to win, or you want to care about optics.
You complain about people that don't play the game.
Guys, I'm going to be honest. I don't care if I win or if I lose. I think that the community.
Just play for
it's a good mindset.
Why overcomplicate?
No, I think that the community you're with, it's important. If you're one of those individuals that's looking to just win every season, fine. You jump from alliance to alliance, and that's fine. But when you're responsible for 100+ people, you can't do that.
Okay, what is your plan? You want to play with farmers or with fighters? Because you have a lot of farmers.
Darling, you don't know who I have.
I know
you're
who you
defending
you have
people, or rather caring what people that are actively tarnishing your reputation, as you say, and calling you a spy and whatever. You're actively caring what they think, when in reality, if they can't prove receipts, it doesn't matter what they say.
Can I chip in real quick? And I'm just gonna say this: you're also actively hurting the people who are active and fighting and all that, because they don't have an alliance to go to, because you're not, like you said, it depends on your decision of where you're going because you care about your reputation. So you can't join SVG because they accuse you and your people as spies and contributing to IO, and you don't want to join IO because you don't want to prove them. So it's like, what about the players who are in your group who are not benefiting from either?
I just took a look at SVG. They are down to 6 billion alliance. I don't think that alliance is gonna survive after this season.
Dead.
But done. Meow, look at SVGA. That's where I am right now. That's where we've moved all our people to.
I mean, honestly, Heidi, just take the leap of faith. It doesn't matter what they think. Again, worse reputations are still actively playing the game and still having a lot of success. Even with the receipts proven, they still get
look at Black Adam,
recruited.
look at Shazam.
Yeah, I mean, look at Shazam. He's still here.
Yeah, look at Pervy Sage Senpai. No one on Facebook likes him. So,
look at me, I'm still here.
I'm still here, bro. Look at me.
Yo, look at Pervy. Pervy's here. He has the worst reputation.
Yeah,
bro.
Pervy got fucking shouted out on Facebook.
I think that's a little lot.
Pervy is here.
Yes, but you're talking about individuals, not a whole group of people.
The individual represents the group. If you are the group lead, they will follow as you say.
Exactly.
Yeah, but then
But
then it's important what I next do.
Okay,
Sorry,
what do you do?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What do you like? I'm confused now,
Heidi.
Heidi, what do you want right now?
What do you want? What do you plan?
We've left SVG. At the moment, we're taking shelter in their sub-alliance.
Okay. Then what do you want to do? I'm not asking what you're doing right now. What do you want to do?
Stop overcomplicating it and make a decision.
No, I made a decision. We're completely disassociating from them. We're moving on.
So you're disassociating with Savage, is that correct?
100%.
So their opinion no longer matters. Then what's the issue?
Exactly.
Bro,
you understand you understand why it's so like trivial to us now, like how we're making it to you? Because that's literally how it is.
Yeah.
You're if you disassociate with someone, why does their opinion matter?
Bro, it's like imagine
other people dictate your life.
Yeah, man. It's like imagine you work at fucking like Asda, since we're in the UK, and you're at the fucking till, right? You're at the till and you work at the till, and some fucking old granny walks past, looks at you, and just goes, "Do you know what? You can't scan for shit." And then she walks on, and then are you gonna just stand there and just go, "I can't scan for shit," or are you gonna just start scanning the next product because you know her opinion really doesn't matter because she's just some random Betty? You know what I mean? Like. Why are you taking some random person?
Online games. This is an online game. You can do what the fuck you want. You can change your fucking name.
No, but the thing is, Mr. Sneaky, I understand what you're saying, but then I think this case is quite an individual.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I think you're overcomplicating it.
You're just overcomplicating it, go. I'm telling
when you look at like Mephisto and like the top players with like super high power, Alpha, unfortunately, one of those individuals. So he will always be very relevant to kind of.
Okay, but what does that have to do with your current situation? I'm sorry. I'm a bit lost right now. I'm trying to connect the dots.
I'm kind of lost now. Like this is what I'm saying. You're overcomplicating things, and you're making just random scenarios to either like.
You're making excuses for them. Like, you're giving them excuses. What does their opinion matter anymore? You disassociated from them, right? So you're done with them.
Success.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What does anything they have to say matter anymore? What does that have to do with your members right now? So you want the best for your members, and obviously right now, in the state of the current map, what's best for your members is to try to accommodate into IL.
Don't let haters dictate your life.
Wait, what? No, how would?
Because
or whatever you do, what the best thing that for your family right now have to do with what Savage are saying?
Yeah.
Make the best decision for your group.
No,
Don't
I'm
mind
sorry.
what they talk. And
No,
just
hang on.
play.
I'm sorry, but merging into IL would have no immediate benefit. They already have two full main alliances. No, hang on, guys. Let me finish, please. They have two main alliances. They have sub-alliances. They have X that they are allied with. There's no immediate benefit for this season to join them. We're not going to get dragon spots. We're not going to get
Bad Bunny.
Pardon?
Then okay. I think that's just someone being random right now.
Okay, yeah.
So you're not
so
gonna
there's
get
nothing
any
to gain from
benefit.
this season.
Wait.
Are those
mute him, just mute him.
Okay, yeah.
Who's speaking?
JXH is loco. Let's just mute him.
It's just in terms of
Thank you. Thank you, whoever did that.
Yeah, it's just there's no immediate benefit of joining IL for this season.
No, we don't talk about this season. Next season.
I'm talking for your future. This season's over. You lost. This season's done.
You lost. Just aim to have fun and long term.
Think about
Exactly.
next season.
So we're talking right now for the future of your group. Why is it so complicated to find a current hope?
It's not. We already have a plan. We already have a plan. Because the thing is,
okay, what's the plan? That's what we were asking. In the
What's the plan?
What's the plan?
We want to be refugees.
So what was this circle we just went in?
I don't know.
I'm so lost.
All the groups that joined SVG, so 21, 92, 94, we are all going to form our own coalition.
Okay, so we're getting somewhere. You're going to form your own coalition.
Yeah.
What does SVG's thoughts on that matter have anything to do with your decisions?
Nothing.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, good. Then finally, we
got a solution.
We're
We got a
making
solution.
space. We're making space, boys.
We got a solution, boys.
I would hate it. You seem really nice and able person. So I would suggest to make a public statement about your situation, that the statements they made were false, and that you are not a spy. And if there actually is a spy, the spy is still in their leadership.
To be honest, I have been toying with this, and I have a lot of evidence, and I have a lot of things that they've said, and things that I can counter that. And I have been toying with approaching several members that are currently here that have prominent YouTube positions, and kind of discussing it in a public format.
You can just make it simple and short. Make a Discord message and spam it everywhere and say it's end of discussion.
Or just come out on Belleron and say, hey, I've been being accused of a spy. Of being a spy. I would like some evidence to that matter, or please cease.
I can do that for you, Heide. I'm a very good propagandist.
I've already done that. So when I left SVG Main Alliance, I sent a mail kind of approaching that and discussing that. But the thing is, it doesn't matter what kingdom we're in right now. It doesn't matter the servers. We're all going to meet one another one day, whenever that may be.
Doesn't matter.
And reputation follows you. So
I'll give you an example right now on that reputation follows you. So I'm sure you're aware of BDO and everything that's went on in their previous seasons and whatever. Right now, the people that they've been spamming everywhere that are quote unquote betrayers have found alliances and found people willing to work with them willingly, despite all the shit that spread out and all the rumors and all the stuff that spread out. And they're still finding success in the game, and they won their previous season as well. And they're building a new reputation for themselves. So it doesn't matter what people say. What matters is what you do next. Even if it's true, if it's false, you find success in it.
Yeah, but the thing is, when your personal character is questioned, and when
who gives a fuck, man? I'm a fucking man. People hate me in this game, in divisions, in separate divisions. But you know,
where are you from, Rambo?
I'm
Heidi, you're overcomplicating things. You have Shazam in this call right now. Black Adam, he is one of the most hated people in our cluster, and I call him an asshole, and yet I still wanted to work with him because he's a good player.
He's a good player.
Black Adam sounds really nice, actually.
Yeah, he's very funny, man. I like this.
He's not.
Who is working with Shazam? Who is working with Shazam now?
Oh
next
shit!
Season?
Here we go. 42 versus Shazam.
Shit. Oh shit.
Oh my fucking god.
No, it's over.
I
It's
mean,
over.
Yeah,
Heidi,
it's over.
the
It's
very
over.
first
It's
minute
over. I got my victory.
our merger
Yeah.
opened, the very first minute, he was immediately trash talking people left and right and asshole by everyone, and he still got recruited by one of the strongest alliances in our cluster.
Yeah. Look at me.
Spill the beans. Spill the beans. Come on, let's go.
Oh yes.
Yeah, yes, recruited him.
Gives a fuck,
Even
man.
though
Just
he's
enjoy
got
the
the
game.
worst reputation possible you could ever have from someone, that he's toxic, he's egotistical, he cares only about himself, and yet he's got recruited.
Yep. Damn right.
Yeah, he trash talks everybody, even his friends.
Yep.
But again, talking about the individual,
So we're not gonna
not someone who represents 100+ people.
No, I know, but the point is that just they're trying.
The idea is the
As
same.
an example, yeah, the idea is the same.
The idea is the same.
Like I pissed off 87. They didn't want to give me Dragon Rewards. I was like, okay, I don't give a fuck. Like I'll just give it to someone else. I didn't care. It's just it happens. I'll just go for the next alliance that'll win. That's it.
I mean, 87 are in this call, and they can attest to this. What he's saying right now.
Exactly.
I mean, we got Saukrito, we got Ao, we got Ave. They can all attest to this right now.
Yep.
They can tell you he's one of the worst people they've had the pleasure of meeting, and despite that,
Yes, he's one of the worst.
Oh, like nothing against you, Black Adam, but you're an asshole. It's like it is.
I know.
Why
You know
is
what?
there nothing against you? He's a fucking asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
It is like it is, and I accept it.
and you know what? I still love the guy.
I accept it. I know.
I still love the guy.
When Doug and Andre came to TurboTax.
Hey, Heidi, I just want to say I was in a similar situation. I have like a group of like 30, 35 people, and we were in a top alliance, and they were just treating us like shit, and we just left, and that alliance is dead now. It was Trib, so they're just gone now. So me and my boys, we won this season. So just leave, take your boys, go win a season, and laugh at them.
I mean, you mean to tell me no one will want to accept 150 players if you have a bunch of T5s?
I know,
with
man.
you?
Like, I'm not gonna lie. Even for me, if you just left whatever and you had your 100 members, it was you and your 100 members, you could just create like fucking Heidi's Heaven Alliance and be a mercenary for fucking the next season.
Please don't name it that.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah, but like people though would take your alliance members and take them into the season because that's like 150 free fighters from your alliance helping a side fight, dude. Like, and you're just playing as a mercenary like alliance. Like, people do that shit.
So that's our plan now, and it's quite ironic because I'm not the only one that's experienced this within SVG. So, regardless of the people,
then that's a problem.
We now have 50+ T5s that have all left SVG to follow me and my team.
Though. That's not. Listen, that's not your problem. That's fine for you because you are your own entity now, right? So if someone left SVG to join you, that's their choice. That's their decision. Like, you can't fucking control people. Like, sorry, you can't. Like, you have not got the gift to tell T5 players to stay in SVG. Like, they'll tell themselves, I'm moving and joining Hyder, or I'm staying in SVG. So it's their decision. So if they come and join your alliance, you just welcome them in. You explain what your alliance is, what your goals is. You're going to be a mercenary alliance. You're going to try and do Diplo talks. You're going to try and find, XYZ in the next season. And then if they're on board, they'll stay. And if they're not on board, they'll leave and go somewhere else. And you'll find that. Like, you're not in control of that. They're their own player. So stop overcomplicating it and just
I entirely agree with you, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Mental gymnastics.
The
so
only
stop
thing I'm
making
saying
excuses on it then.
No, but the only thing I'm saying is because of this whole debacle, there's no way I could ever join IL.
It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. You're a mercenary alliance. It doesn't matter.
Heidi, you got someone like. This is just a purely example. I haven't personally dealt with him, but you got someone like Mephisto who's got a reputation of being extremely difficult to work with, and despite that, he's always recruited. Yeah, he's always recruited.
I can give Heidi a good advice. If you go mercenary route, lots of high tier players like to be aggressive and war all the time, and have fun. The game is about fun. So just you seem really nice. So I'm sure you will get lots of players. So that's not a problem for you. So just make it simple. Public announcement. Bullshit. I'm not a spy. Take the members. Have fun. Aim long term. Make friends.
But she
have
is
fun.
a spy for me.
Yeah, but
Rambo,
it really doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter because these kinds of games you always have spies. It doesn't matter, and it sounds to me that the people that blame you to being a spy, they most likely think. I have experience in a couple of alliances that took people in, they dished the leadership out and said spies. And try to keep the members.
Yeah.
That's what they try to do.
You're right. You're 100% right. And that's precisely where we are at today. So all I'm saying is those of you that make your YouTube videos and those of you that have previously thought that SVG were strong, perhaps look at the next season, see where they were and where they are today.
I just enjoyed watching the fights, actually.
No, but I saw your video, Miss. I can't claim to watch everyone's videos and be avid, but I saw that video, and from someone within SVG, it made me laugh because the way you thought that we were structured and we were doing things, there was none of that on our side. It was potluck.
My video is all about just looking at the fight, and I just break down the fight.
The season starts. These guys group up for bear, right? The bear raid. Man, they're full archers. Why?
Rambo, shut up. No, Rambo.
It's a disaster.
You have a skewed view.
On a bear raid. What's the problem with full archers on a bear raid?
No, in elite you need mages.
Elite. Oh.
Yes.
We had mages there. Rambo, what on earth are you talking about? Rambo, go get the dragon. We've been watching you.
We took 2 tries today. I was mad in voice today.
They can't even get it
but
down.
Wait. You talk about dragon. You go farm.
They've got both IL alliances in there. They can't even get it down to 50%.
Man, we're gonna get it, and I'm gonna send you a screenshot. Okay.
Okay. It already happened too. It's
they haven't got it thus far.
Yo, do you want me to stream and show where SVG is right now? Are you even in zone 4?
I mean,
I've already told you. SVG have
Rambo, while you're here, can you get someone from IL leadership in here as well? Why not?
Yes.
Might as well.
We can find out.
I mean, I can.
Get someone from IL. Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
I'm not gonna get.
No, but look, guys. I can be honest and say that IL were the better competitors this season, but it hasn't helped SVG that we've imploded within.
Well, I feel like alliances have imploded with them, so you're not like SVG.
Okay, I'm getting someone here. He's coming.
Okay, thank you.
I do hope we do face some of these old, younger kingdoms because I do want to play.
I've been really impressed by IL, to be honest. Not gonna lie.
I was expecting a huge KVK, right? I'm coming from ETS. I just jumped to a random server with one account and trying to find out, which division I can land and see what's going on. Man, the fights here are insane. So many people.
Rambo's right, but may I also point out that IL, as they are today, are not one alliance. They are LV and OH, which have cherry picked their top players and have all jumped to another alliance. So they're not just one alliance.
If it works, it works.
Lucas,
credit to them. They've done fantastically.
Lucas, explain to them what we did to SVG this season.
No, hold on. Lucas, are you IL leadership?
Yeah, I'm R4.
What do you think about Heidi's group?
Heidi's group. I know which one. Yeah, the one that moved to 70.
You won't even know who I am because SVG.
I know actually.
Yeah.
So if Heidi's group applies to IL, would you take them?
How many? I'm not sure. How many of them are?
He didn't say no. He said how many. Yes,
that's all that matters.
Do we like them?
Cherry is also here, I think. Let's
Do we like them? Hi.
So roughly how many, Heidi? We're facilitating a new home for you right now. Roughly how many are you guys? 100, 150?
Yeah, about 150 in terms of all the people that we've accrued now, and we're dropping the farmers.
All right, so about 100, 150, Lucas. What do you think? And around 50 of them or more are T5s.
We have no way of taking that many people. It's impossible. Currently, there is no way to take that many.
Yeah, so our capacity.
The rejection wasn't because of the reputation. I think it's just the amount of players.
And that's the combination.
Okay, Lucas. Have you heard from IL's perspective a betrayal within SVG working with yourselves, a group of people?
Elaborate on that. What do you mean by that?
I like Heidi. She's very nice and respectful. I like you. I sent you a friend request. I'll be nice.
Yo, fucking man. This guy.
She's just like she's that girl that's just like always so nice and so.
Just shut the fuck up, bro.
It's like I can't be rude. It's just like I can't be rude. It's just
I want to get something.
you're adorable.
You are in the same group as Don Davis. To make it clear, you are in the same group.
Yeah.
Okay. We had no group on Savages working for us. We had nobody. Everybody that I've seen on the field. Yeah. So everybody on Savages was on the field that should have been on the field. There was no T5 that half-assed it on your side.
Okay, but Lucas, perhaps you're not familiar with what's happened. And I understand that you may have spies and individuals within...
We have spies.
And ROG.
Please don't speak about spies, because every single push we did, you guys responded instantly. All the things we did.
Please hear me. Please hear me out. Yeah. This is not me accusing you. I think it's a nature of the game, and it happens, and that's fine. But the problem that I've faced is me personally. I have been accused of spying for SVG.
By who?
Against SVG to yourselves. I have never spoken to anyone within IL leadership. Never.
By who? Who told you that? Alpha?
All of the people within.
They don't even fucking play the game. Man, you guys, I should fucking stream the game so you can understand me. There are R4s, are T5, they have like 30 million kills, okay? 30 million, 40 million as an R4, T5, 80 million power. So get the fuck out of here, man.
I play 60 hours a day, 16 hours per day, you know. Yeah. And I can say Alpha has no fucking idea how to play the fucking game. It's just, he does it. It's so
I don't. You guys are getting off track a little bit. Heidi, what do you mean by your question? It was you're being accused for spying for IL. Is that the accusation?
No. So the reason, according to SVG, the reason that they've lost this season is explicitly because of me, personally me. I have told my team.
Maybe let her finish talking before you interrupt. That'd be fantastic.
I've told my team of individuals not to fight on the battlefield. I have been sending plans and times of pushes to IL, and this is all because I'm joining IL next season. Although I've never spoken to any of you before, essentially. So that's.
You haven't said anybody is joining us yet.
No. So honestly, you have me to thank for you winning the season. You know, it's nothing to do with your hard work. It's nothing to do with anything. It's all because of me.
Yeah, they always try to find the excuse like to why we lost. Yeah, because they had spies. That's why we lost. We did everything perfectly.
Yeah.
We fought like 24/7.
More than welcome to.
You see that, Heidi? You thought they were gonna blacklist you or whatever, and here they are laughing with you.
No, I'm not saying that they're blacklisting me at all. I'm saying that reputation follows you. So if I went to IL, it would prove SVG's point. It was nothing to do with IL blacklisting me.
And who cares about SVG's point?
Yes.
We're circling back. We're going back to point one. Who cares?
The thing is, say like SVG's wrong, but they have this delusional like ideology or this delusional dream or cuckoo land in their world, and you move over there, and to them it just like makes their cuckoo land a reality.
And to be honest as well, Heidi, people only listen to the winners of any season. If someone lost, their opinion is immediately irrelevant. It doesn't matter what happened. People only care about the winner. What the winner says, the history is written by the winners. Okay, so if IL said you're clear, you're clear. It doesn't matter what Savage has to say. As long as they don't have any evidence to present, they can just keep blowing in a balloon with a hole. I don't know how to say it in English, to be honest. But
I mean, I feel like there's been a lot of propaganda across a lot of.
Just come out. Maybe they'll just do Home Kingdom starting zones, and
they can talk shit all they want unless they have something to prove. It doesn't matter. We're not taking everybody just because we can. We'll take the people who actually play and make a difference. So, 150 people. That's a lot. So I think it would be, if you guys did want and are interested in joining, it would be a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, because
we don't want anyone toxic. We don't want anyone, we want to keep a family. We want to have fun.
You don't want anyone toxic, yet you have toxic people there
Yeah,
already.
I'm toxic. I'm sorry.
Look,
you got Rambo, so it's like
that shit's subjective. Let's not get into that.
Yeah.
But,
keep your recruiting internally, but for the purpose of this conversation, right? Because Heidi was scared that you guys would flat out reject her or think of her as like or whatever.
I never said that. I said that reputation precedes you, so I would never want to try and join IL because that's what SVG accused me of.
But why care about what SVG thinks?
But why? Yeah, exactly. You shouldn't care what they. You shouldn't care what SVG thinks.
She says it.
They don't play. They don't play the fucking game. They didn't do. Literally, the entire leadership is absolute shit. No communication. No nothing. Don't believe anything.
I hate to mention, it's not our first season for some of us against them. We played against them in season 1+. We kind of expected something like this. We are used to their shit leadership, so it's again propaganda and that stuff.
At the end of the day, you're playing the game. Yeah, you're playing the game for yourself. It doesn't matter what they think. If you want to join IL, great.
Yep.
If you want to join someone else, also
that's
great.
literally what I said to her.
Yeah, just you're an individual. You're your own person. Don't let other people dictate how you want to be.
Exactly.
It's your journey, right? Yeah. It's Call of Dragons. It's your account. Yeah, it's your story.
It's your account, your game.
I would agree with you if I wasn't representing a number of people. If it was just myself, I would do
that's an excuse.
What you say, you as a representative, that means you're all a single unit. So what applies to you applies to them.
Yeah, but your decision, if you are representing them, that also means that if they don't want to go to IL because of what you're afraid of, what SVG thinks as well. I think it's more important to push. You guys can make your own decisions, but this is what I'm going to do.
No, but on a personal note, I would not be willing to join IL because of the campaign that you made against Don Davis, but that's an entirely separate issue.
Banter.
It's
Come
just
on.
friendly banter.
Man, so many people made fun of me in different divisions. And who cares? I would play with them. At the end of the day,
Nambo, you are inhuman. You are like a separate entity that's online 24/7.
No,
You're not wrong, man.
I'm not.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
You're not wrong. You're really not wrong.
You are.
Why? Man, IL loves me. They want to play with me because I play this game properly. I'm here all day. You know? And that's what matters.
Exactly. Same for me.
Reminds me of Shazam.
Exactly. There you go.
Experienced players start from like clean slate on every server start. That's very common.
So that's what we're planning to do. So next season will be.
But I mean, reputation-wise and everything, the hatred and dislikes and stuff like this. Very few experienced players keep hatred and dislikes on the next server. Yeah.
Perhaps you guys are right. Perhaps I'm taking it too personally.
You are.
You are.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you see statements against you that are so vehement against what you've done,
you're talking to content creators.
Proof.
We deal with this on a daily basis, girl.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not being funny, but
meow in his videos. I think he's gay.
Yeah, man. Like you're talking to like content
what did you just say,
creators as well.
I'll like, zero right now, Shazam. If you don't shut the fuck up.
No, but I don't quite understand. No, but Mr. Sneaky, I don't quite understand that because you've been with the same alliance from the start, correct?
No, but it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
No, but this is what we're saying. But I'm not saying that though. I'm saying you're speaking to content creators, right? And we literally on a daily basis will get comments talking shit about us and reputational random and criticism. And do you really think that stops us from doing our job and making content for you guys and trying to fucking have fun with it all? Like, no. Like, you're overcomplicating it and you're taking things like too serious.
Wait, no. Hang on a minute. I play this game for fun. When you create content, you gain monetary gains from it.
I still started out my journey for fun. This is what you're not understanding, but that's not the point. Like, what we're saying is you have a problem with like reputation carrying over or like being criticized for an action from someone that carries over. It doesn't matter because like if you're just always looking over your shoulder from something that's happened on your past, you're never going to move forward either. Like, that's the whole point of the game. You're meant to move forward.
But we are moving forward just as a separate entity.
No, but but the point is what we're saying is anytime we try and make progress in the conversation, there's always like some sort of excuse or there's some sort of weird like I don't know, like circle.
Do you mean because I'm saying I'm not willing to join IL?
No,
yeah,
it's not just that, but it's also
just not that. It's not just that. It's just like the whole thing that's been like this whole conversation.
In a simple word, don't close doors just for reputation. Yeah.
No, but the door isn't closed for
Heidi,
the future.
Heidi, you're here for a good time, not a long time. Just remember.
Literally.
Can somebody kick him?
No, I'm not saying that I hate IL. I'm not saying that the door is closed, whether or not they would even consider us. I'm just saying for next season, it's better for me to separate my group and go along our way.
I mean, that's completely fine, but on the topic of closing what IL thinks, you heard it directly from their R4s. They all said they're okay with taking you on a case-by-case basis. So whatever bullshit Savage was saying had no impact on anything, except their little bubble that they keep repeating stuff inside.
I'm not saying that it has any impact because it's quite clear that IL leadership have no idea who me and my group are, which reinforces my point that I was never a spy. But I just don't want to prove SVG right.
But that doesn't matter. But you're not, and it doesn't matter. This is what I was saying. This is exactly what I was saying.
Yeah, so if I can chime in for a sec. So Heidi, I think, and I just respectfully to the others as well, right? I think people should hopefully try to look at it from multiple perspectives, right? What Heidi is saying does have value, or it is valid in how she's approaching it. And bear in mind, there's a number of other people that look at it like that as well. I, for one, value reputation. However, by saying that, I'll put an asterisk there as well. There is obviously some validity to what others are saying when it comes to the value that one attaches to what you're hearing or what is said about you. I think for me, I just look at it pretty logically where, based on what you said, Heidi, I think the solution is pretty simple, right? It's you go and you ask IL what was said. Was something said or was something not said? If something was said, then you easily correct that, right? Because you're already starting a dialogue or a conversation with them. And then if you do want to join, okay, cool, right? That's one path that could lead down. If you don't want to join, then really I think you have two options, right? You either keep playing in the alliance that you're in, or you rename it, or you make a new alliance and you try to grow that, maybe try to merge, find other players that you pick up throughout seasons, or you wait until the season's over with, if there's another alliance that you're interested in joining for the season, and you wait till next season. I mean, I think it's pretty kind of cut and dry to oversimplify it, but I think that's kind of where you're at right now. And I mean, you have options, and I guess if that makes it kind of quick, easy, and dirty for you. So,
well, if I may just say something about reputation, it doesn't really matter in the long term because people aren't going to care. If you play well, they're just going to accept you anyway. Like, we're seen as betrayers. You were seen as betrayers in season +1 or 1+. Sure, we still got on great in season 2. Like, it doesn't matter at all, in my opinion. Now,
no, I think the thing is that if it, I agree to an extent. However, bear in mind, I'm sure everyone here has some people that they would probably never play with again. So I think that in and of itself proves the point that reputation does. That reputation to an extent does matter, because I can tell you that I have people that I would, prefer not to play with right in the future. People that I've had experiences with. I'm sure there's other people that I've had experience, and even if it's just one person, right? Whether it's any kind of a bad experience that you've had, you may choose and opt not to play with those people. And again, that's to say that it's not to say that reputation far exceeds everything else. It's to say that it is a factor, and it's something that I would imagine anyone that has had a poor experience, you may opt to not want to play.
Most of the time, to add on what bossnasti is saying, most of the time it ends up being the personal thing, not a majority. It's just it's always the vocal minority.
Yes,
I
agree too.
What's up, Break Loud?
I'll give you an example. Okay, we had an alliance called Fun this season, right? 4 billion power.
I also agree.
Nobody wanted to play with them. Nobody wanted to ally with them this season at all. Because
no, Rambo. No, again, that's not true.
What the fuck? I have screenshots.
Yeah.
No, my darling, I also have screenshots. SVG leadership and IL leadership agreed that exact quote.